Hello everyone, I'm Sean Cattouse. Welcome to The Compassionate Competitor. Each episode will explore the mental, physical, and emotional toll, as well as the rewards that come along with high-performance athletics. From success to shortcomings to transitioning away from the game, we will get an inside look at the whole picture when performing at the peak in the world of sports. High-performance athletics comes with so much more than just a singular mind to perform. Here, we look to see the whole human. I am honored and excited to welcome my guest, Kerry Neal, native of Bunn, North Carolina, U.S. Army All-American, Notre Dame grad, ex-NFL player, turned father and owner and head trainer of Win Performance, one of the premier athletic training facilities in Chicagoland and the country. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for coming, bro. Love you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you having me, man.
Brother.
My God, man.
Good to have you, man.
Pleasure,
coming
man.
on episode 2, The Compassionate Competitor.
Absolutely.
Kerry Neal in the building, man. Let's get straight to it, bro. Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from, family dynamic, upbringing, and like what led you into this journey of sports? Like, where did it start for you?
Again, my name is Kerry Neal, man, from small Bunn, North Carolina. One stoplight and a federal prison. So that gives you options right there, man. I've seen so many younger athletes go the wrong route. Single parent home. Pops passed when I was 12, but it really wasn't in my life. So my mom, my grandmother, I lost my grandmother last year. That was a big one, right? Her, my mom was like that's my rocks there, right? Two hard-working ladies. I never seen them complain, never seen them cry. Just was givers. So I had an older brother who played sports. Me and him just super competitive, look at kids, right? So me being a little brother, always getting beat until you get a certain age. Like you're like, okay, I'm never losing again. So just having that competitive nature at a very early age, man. Always outside as a younger kid. Was a big basketball fan. I thought I've been this height since probably about 7th grade. So I thought I was about 6'2", 6'1 and a half, 6'2" in 7th, 8th grade. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be 6'6". Then I got to high school, everybody caught up with me, right? So then I just transitioned into football, right? Me and my brother are super competitive. So he had all the trophies. I shared this story years ago. Like my brother he was football, basketball, track, played some baseball. I was only hooping at the time, right? So I'm like, man, only way I can catch bro is let me pick up football.
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was right. He played running back. So I wanted to do everything opposite of him. So, right? And it was a burning fuel. They used to call me, my brother named Dallas, so they used to call me Dallas' little brother. And secretly, I hated that. I hated what I mean. So just being a competitive little brother, let me pick up football. So it just kind of just worked like a madman. Like I was a chubby kid, got teased, then just worked. That's all I knew was just hard work. And as you know, my schedule never changed, right? So then, like I said, football, one of those things that came to me so natural. By the time I was a junior, I was All-American. I committed to the University of Notre Dame, and kind of the rest was history right there. I was the number 2 player in the nation in my position coming out. ESPN, I was on signing day of the little hat, you know what I mean? So I committed about a year early, right? So I just wanted the process to be over with. So
it is rough.
And I was a quiet kid growing up. Like around my peers, I was super talkative. Around everybody else, I'm like a mute. Like I'm not talking to anybody that I don't know. But then you just get older, you kind of grow, and you get comfortable with yourself, get comfortable speaking to other people, and man, so.
Coming out of Bunn, was it Bunn High School?
Yep, Bunn High School.
All-American.
Yep.
Notre Dame, went into Notre Dame. You started at Notre Dame, coming in as an All-American. By the end, just like myself, went undrafted into the NFL. What stands out in that journey? Take me through coming in, navigating, playing with other big time. Notre Dame was a big deal at that time. They were on top nationally, one of the big teams. There must have been other guys that were balling, competing, maybe starting, not playing, whatever. What was that journey like for you?
I was fortunate. I was a 4-year starter, so I came in as young, hungry cat, just wanted to play, right? I was like, I was
4-year starter.
Yeah, 4-year starter. So I was fortunate enough. I was blessed enough with some talent, man. Athleticism, get on the field early, make an impact early. And it was a learning journey. It was a learning curve, though, right? I went from playing on a 2A school to a 5, you know what I mean, to a Power 5 program, right? So just learning the size, just understanding schemes, the scheme of football, right? The reason why we doing this, right? Why are we calling these plays? Those are things you really don't really get in a public school in North Carolina at that time. You going from playing in front of a couple hundred to 100,000. Right? So it's literally, when I say it was a 360 change, like I share these stories with my family members. They're like, what? It's like, it's part of the thing, they don't have no clue, like that feeling, right? Until you go there and experience it and come out that locker room, or you get to travel to California, you get to travel all across the world just to play a game. Like a game you've been playing your whole life, right? When you in the mix, you kind of take it for granted, right? Now, as I'm older, I can appreciate those things, right? And the relationships that I was able to build during that journey, right? Being a freshman, going in and winning big games, right? Going in and making huge plays in front of 100,000 people, like it. It do something to you. It's like it's a feeling like that you can't explain, right? You feel like you're on top of the world, like a young rock star at that time, you know.
So, in college, what was the competition like? What was the biggest mental, emotional, or physical challenges that you had in your collegiate career? Coming out, going into the NFL, you went undrafted. I imagine there may have been some things. Was there anything near as you went out that may lead itself to how I was undrafted as well, that it ended that way? Like, how can you paint that picture, just to transition and late into the NFL?
I would say injuries happen, right? I cracked my L4. That was a big thing about me, right? Cracking my L4, just hindering just the way you can move, the way you can perform on certain days. I think the biggest hurdles that you face as a college athlete is just that freshman year, just learning the game, then balancing the tough schedule of Notre Dame itself, right? The academic side. Now it's competitive practice fields, competitive in the classroom. Like you're competing against valedictorians, right? Like the best of the best. And every day you're kind of constantly competing. And so those are the challenges at first. Then but the game of football it's a game, right? It's a thing that we don't, as athletes, we don't think about it, right? We've been working your butt off your whole life for these moments. So a guy like us, like myself and you and Rob, like we expect those things because the work that you put into, right? We are our biggest critics, our biggest, you know what I mean? So we hold ourselves to a standard like no other. So going undrafted, like I said, I got hurt. Even then, I got hurt 10 days before my pro day, right? I ran the worst 40 I possibly could. I think I popped some pain pills. Like, man, I popped my calf. So imagine pulling your calf 10 days before your pro day. So I'll be fine. Treatment, round-the-clock treatment, getting treatment 3 times a day. Like now I can't even, I'm numb. Like my leg is numb. I can't even feel it. Think I'm gonna be fine. Because I put probably 2.5, 3 months of work in beforehand. All I need to go run a good 40.
On time.
Just go run a good 40. I've been doing that my whole life. But I'm physically unable to do it. But now me just been trying to be a tough guy and trying to gut through it and not really having my agent telling me, no, you need to run. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can, but I never ran a bad time, so let me just go pop these pain pills and just go run. And probably the worst mistake I ever made in my life, right? Now you posted, now you're an undrafted free agent guy and you post a bad 40. Now it's tough now, right? But fortunately, if I was still good enough they brought me in as an undrafted free agent. We came out 2010, that was the year of the NFL lockout. So we didn't even know we was gonna have football. So that year was kind of like a weird year. It wasn't your normal calendar year in the NFL.
Yeah, that was tough.
So, but still played great. Where I went first preseason game, I had 8 solo tackles. All right, I felt, man, this is all the work and everything you dream about as a kid is all coming to fruition right here. So.
Yes, sir, man. And just to real quick hit on navigating all of the things in college, before we move into that NFL, I think people outside, right, they don't understand. You're talking about at Notre Dame, you're performing against the best at an elite academic institution and on the field. And everyone has their stories, even people who are not athletes. They might be working 30 hours, 40 hours, they might be doing something. Everybody has their story. But because we're in the lights, we hear so much, whether it's ESPN or news or magazines, about just people not understanding what it is to be that collegiate athlete. I went to Berkeley.
Yeah.
One of the best schools on the planet, you know. And when we're going to practice, we got 7 a.m. meetings. 7 a.m. to 9 meetings, get a workout, go to class.
Yeah.
Go to class, come back, we on the field.
Yeah.
Get off the field, eat, we in the film room.
Yeah.
When am I gonna do this work?
Yeah, it's work.
I just got beat up. I just put body on body for 2.5 hours
Tired.
work. It's just, and so I'm like, man, people don't understand, man. Like, that's a normal day.
Right.
I'm getting home at 9, 8 maybe, like 8 o'clock, let's say, and it was all day, school. It's tough to balance that. We had a lot of support though, but
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
for me, coming from Hubbard High School, I wasn't properly, I wasn't held accountable. I wasn't molded to be that
Right.
type of academic, student athlete.
Right. It's the golden saying, you don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? You go through the process, you thinking football gonna open all these doors. In reality, it's
Right.
a whole nother side of life, right?
Man.
Football is a very small, new part of our life, right?
Right.
It's gonna start from everybody, it's gonna end.
Yeah.
That timer, it's a timer, right? Some guys'
gonna end.
timers last for 13 years, some guys last for 13
Yeah.
seconds, right?
Yeah.
You have guys who go get hurt. So that's the harsh reality of it. I tell all my younger athletes that I encounter myself with now, it's like, hey, like it's like a vehicle. Look at football as a vehicle, right? Use college athletics, not even football, like use that. So you get in it, take yourself as far as you possibly can within it, maximize, do everything you possibly can to get your body in the best shape, mental, physical, get everything to the highest levels you possibly can, right? Max them out, make the great relationships that you possibly can, get the best education you possibly can. Then from there, you're kind of like sports callous your whole body, right? It gives you the tools that you get from playing collegiate sports. Help me. I know I can speak for myself. Like it helps me. Like I think what I do is easy. Most people think my schedule is crazy, right? But for me, it's just I'm like, guys, this is nothing compared to what I have to do to make it, right? Waking up early, I've been doing that my whole life. Staying disciplined, been doing that my whole life, right? These are the things. Holding myself and my peers accountable. That's part of being a leader, a captain on a football team, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I hear you, bro. One thing when you were talking about what you tell your students, your athletes when you're training them and just giving them that perspective, right? One thing that I realized coming out, just my road of just feeling, going through the substance abuse and just feeling very low. You were someone who, for whatever reasons, you were able to take what you learned. Not to say it wasn't hard, but keep pushing. For me, I broke down for a moment, at a point in my life, and I felt like life was over for me. But what I realized through that, and what I think, man, it's so important for any athlete to understand, for any I'm thinking young male athletes and females especially, but just speaking through a male lens of like, for young men, like, man, find out who you are and what you love about yourself. Can you love yourself without this game? Can you love yourself if this game is not a part of you? Who are you without the game? Because it's gonna end. And it might end. There was when I 3 surgeries in 2 years. I'm like, I'm out. Like I thought, I'm going 8 years, 7, 8 years pro. But and then you get injured. But when I was out, I didn't know. Identity crisis. Who am I? I felt like a buster, like a bum. I'm weak now. I'm not shit. And that was the feeling that I had. And so when I think about young people, like young men, man, make sure, who are you without this game?
Absolutely.
And I don't want to, say have a backup plan. No, we going all in. This is what we do. But without this, I want you to just explore that. Who are you? Do you love yourself if you did not have this? You know what I mean? And how can we, and then we need to mold them and do some little practice and help them identify with those, because they need training and guidance through that. It's just me and my educator lens of what those kids need. I don't want to take your grind away from this. You need to be all in on this. You can't have no second thoughts, but it's a balance that I feel like kids need to have. Nobody taught me that, And I guess maybe you hear things, but that's like a thorough education you need to get in that, man.
Like you said, like I'm a firm believer of, when it comes to football, I truly believe you truly have to put all your eggs in the basket, because it's so demanding of a sport, right? It's so demanding. Like you got practice, you got weightlifting, you got the film study, you got the mobility. It's so much stuff that you have to do to be really elite at the sport. Then you're going against the top 1% in the world, right? At the NFL level, right? Then every year it's like we dumping a new
crop.
load of crop in every year. We just dumping it in. So you're not only competing with your peers that's on the team, you're competing with the free agents of last year, the guys that was hurt, the guys from the different leagues, right? Then next year, we're going to bring a younger Sean Cattouse out, right?
Hungry.
Yeah, young, hungry guy.
Wants a spot.
Right, every year they're trying to replace you. You got to give them a reason not to.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle,
It's a vicious cycle,
They
bro.
say NFL mean not for long, right? That's what it stands for. But but again, at the end of the day, it's still a game.
Yeah.
And I think your approach just got to be, just take it serious. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like I have so many younger athletes that I won't say they cheat the process, but they don't truly understand the process and what demands, what being a pro athlete really like entails.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I just try to hold everybody accountable. When guys walk into my door, I'm like, I look at you like, okay, you telling me you're serious about your craft, you want to be elite, and that's my job to make you the best version of yourself. Everybody's best version is a little different. Right? You may be the 5-star. Little Johnny may just want to get in the game.
I just want a jersey.
Yeah, he just want a jersey. Let's help little Johnny get good enough to get a jersey. So it's just, it's a level to everybody. Everybody have a ceiling, right? So my job, my goal is to get you to it. So, and that's kind of my focus. Like I was able to transition into like, the same passion I had about football, I just turned it into training. I was able to get like a sample. I was able to get like a sample taste of like life after football during the NFL lockout, right? I was like, the place I was training at, like I literally would train in the morning. It's like, hey, can you help us with these kids? So I was just taking them through it. Then I was taking them through a couple like football drills. Then I got a passion. Then the following kind of grew. Right. Then once I got hurt, like my second or third big injury, like I kind of just switched gears. I'm like, okay. It took me a while, right? At first I was kind of like you. I just felt like, man, what's my family think? What do people like? How I'm viewed now, right? Then I started seeing the impact I was having on athletes.
That's a blessing.
Right. I was taking guys like who had a late round draft, teaching guys my speed system, and guys was making it to the league. Guys was going from 4.6 to 4.39.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, I kind of got something here. Then I kind of just fell in love with the process. Right? Now for me, I'm super competitive. Like never been the most talented guy. I was just worked. That's all I knew. Still to this day, I'm a true testament of what like being super consistent, dedicating your life to it, and just staying laser focused through the process. I played the long game with this thing. I'm 15 years in, on my own business. Now I'm changing hundreds and thousands of athletes' lives yearly, right? So that's probably the most rewarding thing. And I'm able to take care of my family and provide, you know what I mean? So
win performance, tell me how that began, how it came to be so big. What do you accredit that to? What do you credit, I mean, just grinding, the hard work. What is it that enabled you to have such a successful business and as an owner of that?
I tell everybody, I care more than everybody else. Everything matters to me when it comes to just when somebody walk into my door. Like what that means to me, it's a gratitude, right? You don't have to. Like I have these NFL guys, these NBA guys, high school, college guys, right? You can train anywhere in the world, but you decided to train with me, come to my place and help me support my business, help support my business. So I take that very serious. So like, then I studied, man. The years of trial and error, like me studying, me learning from other coaches, me going to different seminars to just create a program, right? A system a formula that like I feel suitable for every athlete. Right? And it's just the network piece, right? We have the thing I say like to give out my gyms, like I'm in the service industry, so I understand the value of people, right? People make and break my relationship. Like they build my business for me, right? You go tell a friend go tell a friend, and next thing I know, I got off one client, I got 5 or 6 different clients off that one, right? And that's just a domino effect. Then it's just the product, right? Just be really good at what I do, right? Like I said, I specialize in just the strength training, the speed. I train youth all the way up to pros and everything in between. From I got doctors, I got plastic surgeons, I have lawyers that train with me, right? Then I have like the best youth and high school and college athletes you probably know, every sport. Now I cater to every demographic there is, right? I got kids from from like every different like ethnic background to every different like from guys that go from the south side of Chicago who barely got running water to guys that lives in mansions in the north side.
That's
right?
Amazing, dude.
So it's and everything in between, but they all under my building for one reason only. That's to get better. And that's my goal, and that's what my staff goal is, to just help them win. Exactly. No matter what the goal is, that's what our goal is, to help you get to the next level and be achieved from there. So,
what things do you see from your athletes mentally that they're dealing with as they're grinding to make it to whatever goal it is that they're trying to achieve? What are they dealing with mentally in the mental aspect? What do you see from them?
I think the everyday stress of the family dynamic, right? A lot of my younger athletes, especially my African American athletes, like, man, I got to make it to take care of mom. Or I got to make it to take care of my family. Then I have another side of my clients that, man, my parents are putting me in the best positions to win and be successful. So 2 different stress levels, right? Like he don't have to worry about certain things, but he do, right? I think that's just what the world is right now. You look at black, white, black and brown, like those are the things that a lot of athletes face, right? And while you're in it as a young kid, you don't even understand it. You just, it becomes a norm to people, right? What's norm to me may not be norm to the next person in line. And I think those are one of the biggest things that a lot of athletes face. Now, like you look at like the whole college football, college athletics, the landscape of that has completely changed with NILs and transport portal, right? Now, like you got a team like Colorado, right, may get 20 to 25 scholarships. Probably 3 of those scholarships, maybe 3 to 5 of those scholarships allocated to a high school kid, right? So now why would you give a high school kid a scholarship and you can just go to the portal, go get you a 19-year-old who's already played, who understands college football, who's gonna come in tomorrow and make an impact for you the next day, instead of got to develop this guy. You know, in this world of sports, like my job, nothing's guaranteed. If I have one or 2 losing seasons, I'm on a hot seat. So I need to go get guys that can help me, can contribute right now. I think those are the biggest issues now, right? So many, the uncertainty of man. If you're not a Power 5 kid, you gotta be the best. You gotta be the best now, which has changed now. But now on the flip side, it has made D2 ball better. It has made D3 ball better. See, that's the flip side of it, right? And those are the things that a lot of my athletes face. Then the injuries, then just the not knowing. Like so many people or parents is just so uneducated about how the world of college sports really work, the questions to ask. We didn't know, right? You just know, like, you don't know what do y'all run on defense? Why do y'all run that? How many safeties y'all have going in the league in my position? Now, I'm gonna go there because they get a Nike jersey. Like, those are the questions that college kids don't understand. Like, okay, my major, what I wanna do after football. Obviously, you're 17, 18, you have no clue what you wanna do. You know, especially if you went to a public school, they're not educating you on what you wanna do, right? Then you go, hey, I want to be an engineer. You have no engineering background. like, what are you talking about? So just trying to just educate kids on that dynamic because it's so much more than just football, right? So much more than football.
Yeah, so much of it is, man, and that's why. And you're giving that guidance.
And try my best.
In the schoolhouse, I'm giving that too, man. Hey, we're gifts.
Absolutely.
We're gifts to these people, to these young people, man.
Absolutely.
We're gifts to them.
You have the knowledge, man. You got to pass it. Man. You can't take it with you to the grave.
Agreed. Agreed. We both live that way, man.
I'm a firm believer of it, man. Pass it, man. You know, try to make the room better. That's all we can do.
Bro, I've seen that whole with the youth performance. I've seen that last thing before we close. For someone you might have even spoke to it a little bit. For someone outside looking in, whether a fan, sports lovers, what is something that you would like them to know? What are the things that they don't know unless they're in it as pertains to performing at the highest level, whether it's in sports or what you're doing now? For anybody trying to perform at the highest level, what can you speak to for fans or people? What don't they know unless they were in it?
It's no magic pill. I think it's as simple as just really, truly, like finding your purpose or finding that one thing you do really, really great and just double down, triple down on that thing, right? Always do what's right. You know what I mean? Put your best effort into it. And just stay consistent, right? Like your feelings change, right? Like some days you're not gonna wake up, but you gotta stay consistent, right? Some days you're gonna be sick. All right, take an off day, do a reset day. But it's truly just staying dedicated to your craft and doing what's right and just put the work in. I think so many people, everybody want it fast, right? Be willing to play the long game in this thing, right? It's just life. You know what I mean? So I tell my athletes, like especially my young kids, right? Young kids come in, they want to do a week worth and they want to run 4.4. I'm like, guys, these guys, they train 6 days a week, 3 hours a day for 8 weeks, right? Just to go run a 40 on their pro days, and the 40 is going to last less than 5 seconds. You see how much time how many hours that you put in? Be willing to put the work in. That's all it is, man. True. You ask any major business corporation, the guys just put the work in. It looks like it was an overnight success, but guys been working on this for years. That's as an athlete. That's what you did.
What it is.
Right? They just see the product on. They just see the byproduct on Saturday and Sunday. They don't see what you have to do to high school to get the scholarship. Right? You and Rob traveling from Southside all the way out north. They don't see that side of the workouts. The work that you guys do in the dark to get to the level.
Live our life to this.
Right. So,
well, brother, I salute you, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
From everything, all of your successes personally in athletics, and even the trials or the lessons that you've learned, you're now a gift, bro.
Oh, man, appreciate
to a lot
it,
of people, man,
Yeah,
and giving a gift. So thank you. Thanks for being here, bro. I love you.
Man,
appreciate
I love you.
Appreciate
you guys for having me, man.
Episode
Seriously.
2.
My God.
Compassionate competitor.
Yeah,
appreciate
I love
you, bro.
Love it.
Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Ashley Munson, and I'm inviting you to join me and my Chief of Staff, Justin James, and the band with no name for the next episode of Munson Tonight. Each month, we'll do our level best to make politics make sense, engaging with political leaders and the politically adjacent in an effort to glean understanding and genuine insight into the deals and the deal makers who, by design, work for you and not the other way around. Join the conversation Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on CAN TV Cable Channel 19 or stream live on cantv.org, or you can even try the new CAN TV Plus app. Hyper-local news and public affairs. Experience the power of community television.
Thank you, Chicago, for joining the conversation tonight. Until next time, live your dreams like they actually matter, because they really do. Good night.